President Trump venturing out to the island of the Long. I'm talking Long Island, New York, folks. He's hyping up a historic drop in crime on his watch, the largest year-to-year decrease in violent crime since the FBI started keeping track in 1937, and marking 1 year of his deployment of the National Guard to D.C. Watch.
I mean, you remember just a couple of years ago how bad it was, right? It was really bad. Foreign gangs, savage thugs with Biden. Sleepy Joe. We call them Democrats now because their policies are so dumb. Fighting to defund the police. Does that play well in this room? You go into a store, you buy something, you buy a toothbrush, you buy some toothpaste. Now you have to open up glass. It's no way to run a business.
Yeah, CVS. Speaking of locking up toothbrushes, this wackadoodle New York City Assemblywoman says stealing one, it's no biggie.
Most of what we saw were crimes of poverty. People who were stealing things like toothpaste. People who were stealing things like, soap. And that means if you're stealing those things, you need that. The true crime is that there is such incredible wealth disparity in this city.
And she is the new poster child for Skims. Kim Kardashian's going to snap her up because that is $1 million campaign right there. Greg, you were muttering during her remarks.
Well, first of all, this is not about toothpaste. It's about cases of toothpaste, which are stolen, sold online or on the street. And then what were the consequences? Everything gets put behind glass, as Trump says, which isn't CVS's fault. They just need to save whatever thin margin they got. But worse, and what this lady, that extremely attractive Democrat 10, should be ashamed of is that shoplifting turned big city drugstores into ghost towns, tying crime to poverty. More welfare does not equal less crime. We have decades of proof on that. Transferring wealth to the poor doesn't prevent murder, assault, or robbery, which are crimes of impulse, culture, and ego, not because you don't have cheese or beer. You can give a guy a bag of groceries, he's still going to shoot the other guy over a pair of shoes. So it's not poverty that pulls the trigger, it's character. This is so obvious, it's pathetic, you got to say it, because it's the biggest insult to people who aren't wealthy to assume that they would be more likely to commit crime. That's a slap in the face to everybody who lives in the cities, who need help from the police, that they're also being suspicious of committing crimes because they don't make enough money. If only throwing cash at a problem worked, how amazing would that be? The poorest places with the thickest safety nets would be the safest place on earth. They're not.
Yeah, and
it's the opposite.
And school districts in New York, Washington, D.C., and L.A. would produce laureates in every endeavor. But this is an easy one. This is one of those things that I don't understand why Democrats, and I understand it's the far left who violates this the most often. It's like they say ridiculous things like this, like, oh, they're crimes of poverty. No, they're actually like organized gangs that go into Greg's point and rob CVS's. But then you have people like Karen Bass, the mayor of L.A., who's like, people do meth because they have bad teeth. If we give them better teeth, they'll just stop doing meth. So why can't Democrats go, yeah, maybe we should have stricter laws against stealing stuff?
Well, I would welcome the montage of the Democrats who do say it, because they do exist. Dan Lurie exists. Matt Mahan exists. Josh Shapiro exists. Has the highest approval rating of any governor in the country. And he's in a swing state. Like Andy Bashir, please, I beg of you. I want that real. Randy resist. Fine's neighbor. Could not resist. But this is the layup, and you've just got to take it as the party. Take the layup, Democrats, on crime and policing. Trump also talked about today healthcare, where he is massively underwater, and the war in Iran. He's losing on everything but this. So just do what you got to do.
Okay, is this...
That's the only reason to do it, politically. Don't do it because it's morally right. Do it because it's politically expedient.
I named all of my moral heroes at the outset. I talked about Dan Lurie and Josh Shapiro.
I'm going to start sniffing a Sharpie if we don't move on.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Joey,
talk about crime?
Let's talk about crime. Let's talk about policing. Let's talk about the visual today that the president
this is a rough statistic. It's 1 to 5, 50 to 60, but 5% of felons commit 50% of felonies, right? So you have much of your violent crime and bad actors concentrated in certain areas. in places where they just keep getting let out. There is rarely a week we don't show someone who physically assaulted someone, murdered someone, did something egregious, and we have 15 mugshots to throw up on the screen for them. Now, of course, the federal government can do their part in charging with federal crimes, but there's a precedent that has to be set to even go there. So it's up to the state and local municipalities to do it. Crime matters. Crime affects people's lives every single day, even if trans doesn't. And the trans issue also was about parents' rights. It was about protecting children. It was about this. It was about safety. It was about having some sort of self-sovereignty and being able to say, I don't want my daughter in that bathroom. So it went beyond the individual trans person and more into the psyche of the Democrats, which is that it takes a village to raise a child, not a mom and dad. It went through all of that. And those things still matter to people. They may not poll like you want them to, but you know what? The reason why the trans issue keeps coming up is because it wasn't polling and it became the sleeper issue.
Shannon.
So Jessica's right. This is somewhere where where Republicans poll 7 points ahead of Democrats on this issue of crime. Republicans want the president out there. They say he's their best messenger. They want this midterm message on something that's working. Crime does work. And being there and saluting these men and women in uniform, that is a popular thing. And it provides a perfect contrast for Republicans to the DSA, where I had the co-chair on Fox News Sunday who said they are for emptying the jails, for getting rid of borders and ICE and enforcing laws. So it's a contrast.
That was a brilliant interview, by the way.
Thank you.
What a gift that woman gave to.
She can take
Republicans
also
and
give
Democrats.
every day.
Megan is welcome to come back anytime. We enjoyed the visit.
Yay, Megan. Ahead, a chilling courtroom confession as the left's beloved assassin, Luigi Mangione, pleads guilty. That's next.
So what? We don't sleep. We're just having fun. We don't care who sees. So what? We go out.
It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole!